Hello and welcome to the final episode of the FC24 Brighton Career Mode, or potentially the final episode of the FC24 Brighton Career Mode. You guys are going to have to let me know in the comments down below if you would like me to continue this career or if you would like me to start a new one. I think the general consensus is that you guys would like me to start a new one and to move on to either a new club within this career mode or to start a brand new career mode from scratch. So be sure to let me know in the comments down below how you feel about that. And while you're at it, please be sure to like the video. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button if you have not already. So of course, before we can actually get to the point where we decide what we're going to do, we have to finish up this season. We got 3 more games left, as you can see here in the Premier League standings. Currently sitting in 3rd place. Some teams have 4 games left. Some teams have 5 games left. But it looks like we're pretty much firmly in top 3. We're definitely in the top 4. I mean, I don't think there's a way Newcastle can really catch us. We'd have to lose every game pretty much, and they would have to win almost every game. So I think we are good there. But even if we get Champions League football, you know, I think you guys might want me to start a new career mode and move on to a new club. I think Brighton have kind of reached their peak with us as well. I think that's pretty much, you know, we've taken them as far as we can for this career mode. So we're going to go ahead and probably end it here after season 5. If you guys want to start a season 6 though, I would be interested in it. Other teams in this career mode looking not great. Arsenal's down in 8th, Spurs down in 11th, Chelsea in 7th haven't been doing too well either. And then you can see the teams down here that are going to be relegated. Watford, definitely gone. Nottingham Forest, Sunderland, Wolves, Fulham, all could still potentially go down. But no matter the case, let's go ahead and get into these final 3 games of this career and of this season. We've got Liverpool coming up, then Southampton, and then an away game against Watford. So 2 of the teams in the relegation battle in the relegation zone, and then of course Liverpool, who are above us in the league. So the Liverpool game could be very important. If we beat them, 2nd place could be ours very easily. So it's all in our hands, and we will go ahead and simulate to this Liverpool game, and we will go ahead and get into it. And one thing I've thought about doing, if we don't end up moving to a new club within this career mode, if we just decide to start a whole new career mode, is actually simulating like 10 years into the future. I think you can do 15 years in career mode. So yeah, simulating like the rest of the career and seeing just how good Brighton do and things like that. But if you guys would be interested in that video, let me know. It could be very fun. As you can see, we've got our starting lineup here. Gittins out on the right. Kudus did get injured. Ryan Cherky's, not happy about not playing out on the right. João Felix has kind of been overtaken up top by João Pedro. João Pedro has been just Mr. Consistent for us throughout this career. And Mohamed Kudus, of course, like I said, got injured in the last episode. So let's go ahead and get into this game against Liverpool. We're just going to stick with this lineup. This will be Liverpool's lineup for our game against them. Very, very solid team. Still some familiar names in there. Luis Diaz, Gakpo, Endo, Alexander-Arnold, and Alisson Becker. But a lot of new faces as well, and a lot of younger players as well in there. And then, of course, you guys saw our lineup. So let's go ahead and get into it. A win here, like I said, would be massive for us. We could end up getting 2nd place for the 2nd year in a row, which would be quite the accomplishment for Brighton and Hove Albion. Trying to work it around the edge of the box. We do get fouled by Rabiot. We're going to go ahead and take it quick. Try to get Garnacho through. And we are going to have Garnacho through. 5 minutes gone. A very bad foul given away on the edge of the box. We take it quickly. And we are able to find ourselves with the goal. Gets Fernandez taking that one quickly. And Almada through to Garnacho. Good to see Garnacho scoring a bunch. Gittins looking for an early pass inside to João Pedro. We're going to go back out to Gittins. Loads of space. I don't exactly like the crossing, but we end up with it back again with Gittins looking inside for Almada. I want to look inside for Getson Fernandez. We get it to him. Over to João Pedro. Oh, and I guess Getson Fernandez was offsides when we passed him this ball. I mean, was he? The corner of his elbow was offsides. All right, game. Cool. And we are able to clear it out of our defense. We're going to look inside. No, we're not. Sasha Bowie with a bad pass. Rabiot now with it. Going to go for a shot, and Verbruggen makes the save. Liverpool's first chance of the game was a good one. Rabiot, powerful left-footed shot there. Oh, and Diamande was jumping over the player. Could have easily been called for a penalty there. De Jong looking over for Romero. Moretti couldn't quite get to it. But Verbruggen will collect eventually. Kirkes inside to Gittins. Gittins looking out for Sasha Bowie, who wasn't running at first. Looking for Garnacho back here. And Garnacho will score again. 2-0 here after 38 minutes against Liverpool. And Sasha Bowie with an excellent cross. And a good finish by Garnacho as well. Alisson trying to deal with it. can't palm it out fast enough and palms it into the side netting, or into the back netting, I guess. Moretti down here to Kirkes. Kirkes looking inside. Garnacho now with it from João Pedro. Does a nice little turn around one player. Alisson actually has to tip that one out for a corner. Didn't really think that was a good shot by Garnacho. Thought it was going right at him, but we're going to get a corner here. Gets it. Fernandez going to try to head it past Alisson. I don't know why Alisson decided to palm it up into the middle of the box, but he eventually collects, so we'll take our 2-0 lead into half. Ooh, Luis Diaz starting off this second half. Looked like he nutmegged our defender there, Sasha Bowie. We're trying to keep Diamande in front of him. So Luis Diaz will have a goal early on. I mean, I thought Diamande was going to be able to stay in front of him. I pressed B for him to go for the tackle, and looked like he was very slow to go for it. And then Verbruggen jumps just out of the way, and basically an open net for Luis Diaz. So 2-1 now, right after the second half. Cade Gordon now on the right side for Liverpool. Cade Gordon having a fantastic season. I'm pretty sure he has like 20 plus goals in the Premier League, and I don't even think he's like necessarily that highly rated. So a great season for him, and he has the ball out here on this wing looking for a cross. And Luis Diaz with an over-the-head kick. A bicycle kick. I couldn't really tell if it was bicycle or just scissor kick, I guess, but either way. I mean, what a goal. Verbruggen maybe could have done a little better, but Luis Diaz has taken control of this game and has leveled it at 2 after just 10 minutes in the second half. And what a finish that is. Looked a little bit like Garnacho's goal in real life, that bicycle kick that he scored. But speaking of Garnacho, he's over here on the wing. Almada didn't really like our options there. We'll get it to Garnacho eventually. Look inside for João Pedro, who will fire it at Alisson. Very powerful shot. Just a few minutes later. We can't take the lead quite yet, but we'll swing this one in. Looking for João Pedro, but Alisson will collect. Kirkes with a tackle on someone over there on the wing. Not sure who, and Kirkes just running past everyone on the defense. Gonna look for a cross inside. Ryan Cherky actually got to it with his head and got it on target, but another save by Alisson, who has played very well this game. Garnacho swinging this one in. João Pedro gets to it. Almada can't get the shot away. And there's a handball, or a penalty, or a goal kick. Okay, I guess a goal kick. Cherky with a nice pass out here to Garnacho. Garnacho nowhere to go quite yet. Gonna go for a shot, though. Ooh. Good move to get inside of the defender. And this ball, you can see here, that header is just barely outside of the goal. Goal line technology, man. It'll do it to you. Oh my goodness. Why is Indica's turning so slow? Verbruggen coming out and making the save on that. I mean, I don't know if anybody else saw that, but the acceleration from Evan Indica there might have been the slowest I've ever seen. They're going to go ahead and make a sub here. Couldn't see who came on. Luis Diaz going off for Kramer, and then a header there, nearly finding another goal for them. I believe our game against Liverpool earlier this season was also a 3-2 result. So if one team can find a third goal here, that would be the exact same. Another pass down here to Garnacho. We're going to look to cut inside. Go short to Cherky, back inside. Why is it gets to Fernandez and not João Pedro? I will never know. João Pedro trying to play some good defense, but they'll get it away. Good tackle by Moretti. We have a chance. Gets Fernandez through to Almada. Almada through to João Pedro. Heavy touch. Oh, it gets saved by Alisson. Gets Fernandez. Will win that header. Cherky with a nice move. I see Garnacho. And I see a finish from Garnacho to give us a 3-2 win here at home against Liverpool. What a finish and what a pass by Ryan Cherky. It was just meant to be that we would find a last-minute winner here. I'm pretty sure we beat Liverpool 3-2 earlier this season, and I'm pretty sure we had a last-minute winner in that game as well. It might have been the other way around. I can't remember exactly, but what a pass and what a finish. What a play by Moretti to win the ball, and what a nice header down by Gets Fernandez. João Pedro with that heavy touch made my heart drop. I thought we were going to draw this game when we had the perfect opportunity to win. But we find a way with Alejandro Garnacho and his hat trick. And while I am happy to get the win, of course that means that Manchester City have officially won the league. Liverpool can now not reach their point total of 83 points. So Manchester City, congratulations again for, winning the Premier League. Woo, who cares? We are officially going to get top 4 though. Manchester United 9 points behind us. They are the only team that can even possibly catch us. And so, yeah. We're going to get top 4 Champions League football again next season for Brighton Hove Albion. And next up, we'll have this game against Southampton, who are actually sitting in 13th. I thought they were sitting a lot lower, but they're actually having a pretty decent season for their standards especially. So yeah, this game won't be easy by any stretch of imagination. And then, of course, our last game against Watford. That one should be easy. They're dead last in the Prem. But we beat Southampton earlier this season. Let's go ahead and take a look at the squad and see what we want to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and give Ray and Cherky the start out on the right side. And I'm also going to get Andy Diop in midfield for Moretti. Looks like Fabricio Diaz is very unhappy and has very low sharpness. That's kind of my bad. And then we'll go ahead and I think we'll stick with this. I kind of want to get Barco into the game a little bit. And so we'll go ahead and go with that lineup there. Let's go ahead and get into the game. Southampton have always given us trouble. But of course, I believe they got rid of Suleimana at some point throughout this career mode, which was always the player that gave us trouble. So this one hopefully should be a little bit easier. We'll see though. Every time I say that, it seems like we lose to a, lower level side, like I said before. So let's go ahead and get into it. Final home game of the season and potentially final home game of the career here at Brighton Hove Albion. It's been a good one, but, things haven't always been as easy as we would like them to be. But that's okay. We've always wanted a challenge here in this career mode, and I think that's what we've gotten. Southampton pushing forward here. Savio back inside to Wolf. Wolf nowhere to go just yet. Savio with it again. Quick feet on the edge of the box there. Chukwuemeka inside. And a save by Verbruggen, keeping us level here at 0. Oh, Savio just running past Ndicka there. Evan Ndicka not looking quite as good as he has in seasons past. I mean, just as slow as can be. Turnover in midfield didn't help, but then, yeah, Evan Ndicka, just jogging there. Not even running back, even though I'm holding the sprint button. And a goal there for Savio, his 3rd in only 8 games this season. João Pedro, nice passing. Getson Fernandez on a break. Getson Fernandez does this so often and gets on breaks so often, and he will find a goal for us here to level this game at 1 just a few minutes after they took the lead. Savio inside of Chukwuemeka. Good passing here by Southampton. Back inside, and a goal for Southampton just a few minutes after we level it. So, looks like this game potentially is heading towards a shootout. Cherky cutting inside. João Pedro now with it to Almada. Almada just muscled away by Skriniar. Definitely a lot bigger player than Thiago Almada for sure. Gets Fernandez with it. We're going to go ahead and go for a shot off of the crossbar from distance. We get it back. Almada inside to Garnacho. And we can't get the ball. Ooh, good steal in midfield. Almada down to João Pedro. Being hounded by Skriniar yet again. Great defending by him today. Garnacho wins the ball back though. Going to look for Cherky. Down to Almada. To Diop. Back to Garnacho. And saved by Bazunu. Sasha Bowie, though, finds a ball into João Felix, who finds Garnacho. We've got to find the bottom right corner, but we can't. 81 minutes gone now. We're running out of time to get a goal, and we need to fast. Nothing doing from that corner except for a counterattack here from Southampton. We're going to look to get a tackle in. We do, but it goes right back to him. And a shot away. Verbruggen makes the save. 88 minutes gone. We got to get a goal. We've got to get on a counterattack here. We need João Felix to get on a run if we can. Except Verbruggen's going to have to make another save. We're running out of time. Every second is ticking. Is giving us so much less chance. Sasha Bowie gets that one away. Vino Gittins. What is happening? Barco cleared out. Wow, what a clearance. Garnacho with it. It's not Skriniar. We're just going to be able to run, but I see him coming. And we will finish it off with a 2-2 draw here against Southampton. Another late minute goal by Alejandro Garnacho nonetheless again. And we will rescue a point from this game. Celebrating a little bit too much for my liking, just because it's not actually a win. And the referee will go ahead and blow his whistle there. Final score 2-2 from Brighton and Southampton. So each team will come away with a point. And that does mean that we go behind Liverpool on points. We were already behind them on goal difference, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens on the final day to see if we will end up in second place or in third. They play Sunderland, so, you know, more than likely they'll get a win. Sunderland down to 19th. Looks like Liverpool and Manchester City actually played against each other in that 37th game. Liverpool coming away with a 1-0 win to take them ahead of us, of course, on actual points, but goal difference, like I said, still... They have a much better goal difference. We've given up 53 goals this season, which is almost as many as teams down in, like, you know, I mean, we've given up more goals than Leeds United, and they're sitting in 16th, which is just wild. We've almost given up as much as Fulham, and they're in 17th. So our defense definitely was lackluster this season, to say the least. Offensively, I think we did all right. And now we move on to the final game of the episode. And potentially the final game of the career mode. Like I said, it's sad that it's coming to an end, but, you know, all good things must. So that's just how it goes. Be sure to leave your comments. Like I said, I wanted to reiterate that here now, to leave your comments about what you want me to go do next. If you want me to manage a new team within this career, or if you want me to move on to just a new career mode as a whole. Looks like within the England, we can move to Arsenal, we can move to Manchester United, Newcastle, as of right now. I know this will probably change, but Inter Milan as well are interested in us. And as of right now, those are the only 4 teams, so we'll revisit this here after this next game too. And for this game against Watford, we're going to switch up the lineup just a little bit to make sure we get in some players that have been with the club for a long time. Fabricio Diaz is going to be in midfield with Andy Diouf and Fernandez. That midfield trio was good for us in seasons past, so we're going to go with that. And then Lamptey's going to get the start at right back just because he's been so committed to the club for so long. All 5 seasons here, we've had him as our backup right back, and he hasn't really said much about it. It looks like he's unhappy now, but, you know, maybe that's just because we haven't played him hardly at all this year. So we're going to go ahead and get into this game with that lineup, and we're going to try to get 3 more points here for Brighton and Hove Albion. Potentially the last 3 points we'll see here with the club. Uh-oh, Gonzalez breaking through here. Looking very nice, but going for the shot and sending it well wide of the post. We got another pass in here to Cherki, who's been playing very well this start of the game. 13 minutes in, he finds a goal, and he has been dangerous so far. Looking very good today, Brighton and Hove Albion. Andy Diouf over here to Getson Fernandez, who has just a load of room to run into. And gets the shot away. Watford are really bad. I think when we played them earlier this year, we beat them like 5-1 or something like that. I don't even know if I played the full game. I think I might have scored all 5 goals in the first half. They really are, like, bad. I mean, no one is guarding us or defending us or marking us at all. So this one will likely get out of hand too. I'm probably not going to simulate this one at all. If we end up scoring 10 goals, then we end up scoring 10 goals. Watford deserve it at this point. They're that bad. Garnacho out here to Kirkes. We're going to look back in for Garnacho. Find a pass to Andy Diouf over here. Going to go for a shot, outside the foot shot. Keeper makes the save. 27 minutes gone, like I said. I mean, every highlight from this game is likely going to be us. I don't think they're going to be able to move forward at all. Cherki waiting on that overlapping run from Lamptey. We're going to go ahead and go for a cross. João Pedro trying to end up with it. Uh-oh. Looks like João Pedro is going to be injured on the final game of the season. Back here to Lamptey, looking inside again. Can't find anyone. But now Fabricio Diaz to Andy Diouf. Oh, man. I want to find a banger of a goal in this game if I can. Kirk has good defense. We've got an open man here in João Pedro. Nowhere to go with him, but Garnacho will end up with it, and Garnacho will end up with another goal. 3-0 after 64 minutes. Nothing doing so far in the second half until then, but we're going to win this game. It's going to be pretty easy. We'll gladly take a third goal here from Garnacho. And we'll go ahead and make a few subs after that as well. We're going to get on Adam West out on the right wing, Barco at left back, and then João Felix up top for João Pedro, who was very clearly hurt, holding his shoulder, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's injured for a while. João Felix, oh, what a ball through here to Adam West, who cannot score. I don't know if Adam West has actually scored for us or not. He probably did at some point, but in the games that he's played in, I feel like he's been through on goals several times and has always just barely missed the target. And João Felix isn't going to score there. I think it hit his arm. Yep, not going to be given the goal, unfortunately. Wow, and they are going to score at the very last minute. Watford do get a goal back. Didn't really think that they would be able to. We just couldn't get the ball away from them for the last like 20 minutes. They just kept running around their defense and not passing it forward until they finally did. And so, yeah, they caught us lacking there. Unfortunate. And wow, interesting challenge there here at the end of the game. We're going to go ahead and send a cross in, I guess, with Evan Ndicka. Ends up with Andy Dioff, who can't make a turn with it. And that will be the end of the game and the final whistle here against Watford. We are going to get 3 points, potentially going to get second place. You never know. But I guess we will find out when we get back to the main screen. It has been a fun ride here with Brighton Hove Albion over the last 5 seasons. And if this is it, then I think it was a very, very good way to go out here with a good 3-1 win against Watford and sending them down to the championship as well. And that will be that for the Premier League season. We do get 176 million for the tournament prize money, which is, you know, obviously lovely to see there. Looks like João Pedro only had a bruised elbow, so that's going to be that. Standings here, we actually do end up in second place. Liverpool lose their game on the final day to Sunderland, of all teams. Looks like the score of that game was Sunderland 3, Liverpool 2, which is crazy to see. So we actually get second place for the second year in a row, and we get second place losing 8 games, which, you know, I feel like is kind of a lot for being that high up in the table. But of course, Manchester City still get first place, only losing 4 games this season. They definitely deserve it. And you guys can see how the rest of the table finishes up here. Chelsea finally find their way back up into 5th place, which is nice to see for them. Newcastle, Villa, and Arsenal rounding out the top 8. Crystal Palace, Spurs, Burnley, West Ham, Brentford, and Southampton kind of in that mid-table range. Fulham, Leeds, and Nottingham Forest escape relegation for this season. And Sunderland, Wolves, and Watford will be going back down to the championship, which is tough to see, especially for those clubs, but I'm sure they'll come back up eventually. And so we will go ahead and now check out the player stats for the Premier League season. It looks like Marcus Rashford, Erling Haaland, and Cade Gordon, like I said, all end up with 23 goals in 38 games, so I'm not sure who actually wins the Golden Boot in that scenario, but as you can see, we had Garnacho up there, ended up with 21 goals this season. Fantastic season for him. And Mohamed Kudus had 14, as well as João Felix having 13. So João Felix, I mean, he got a lot of hate, you know, for his poor play, but he really wasn't that bad. He just wasn't much of a striker, to be fair. And then as far as assists goes, you can see plenty of Brighton Hove Albion players up there. Kudus with 11, João Pedro with 10, Garnacho with 10, Almada with 9, Fernandez with 7, João Felix with 6, and I believe that is it for our players. And then as far as clean sheets, Verbruggen has won it the past 2 years before this, but definitely not this year. Only 9 clean sheets in 35 games. Ederson with 16 and Alisson with 13. Ederson going to win the Golden Glove here. And then as far as our player stats overall, obviously you saw the Garnachos mostly performed well in the Premier League. Didn't really do too much in the Champions League and then never really played in any of the cups. Same with Kudus. Performed well in the Champions League though. João Felix was 16 and 7. Bino Gittins 12 and 4 coming off the bench for the majority of the season. Nice to see from him. And same with João Pedro, 10 goals and 13 assists as well. I love both of those players, and both of them never really started for us a whole lot. Obviously, João Pedro did last year, but both of them were very, very quality players for us throughout the entirety of this career mode. João Miranda there, you can see up to an 81 overall, same as last episode. Looking like a very good striker for us. We would probably, if we continued this, we'd get rid of João Felix and probably just continue to start João Pedro with Miranda behind him. I think both of those players could be fantastic for us moving forward in the future. Adam West did have 3 Premier League goals, but I don't know if any of them were actually for us. I think they might have been with Watford whenever he was there, but he might have scored for us. Can't exactly remember. Sasha Bowie, very solid right back for us. Kirkez, very solid left back for us, as we know. Diamande and Ndicka were solid as well, but I mean, our defense, like I said, could have been better for sure. We'll go ahead and scroll through here through the youth academy prospects that are out on loan. Leonardo Costa up to a 78 overall. He is looking very, very good now. Jordan Evans up there. Yuma Ono, 78 overall, 20 years old, center back. Very, very solid. Sean Giles up to a 76 as a 17-year-old over there at Luton. He looks like he could be good too. Blake Curtis, right back, solid. We have so many good players out on loan. I mean, if we started a whole youth academy team down in like the championship, they would probably be good enough to win the whole thing. or at least close to it. And then we got some other players down here that didn't get a whole lot of game time, but some of them did. Gene Mercier, up to an 81 overall. We only use him in 9 games, and he is so good. A player that was definitely, underperforming and underwhelming throughout the season was Fabio Moretti. Only 4 assists through 37 games. Didn't really do a whole lot at all whenever he was in there. More of a defensive player for us, I guess. That's not exactly what he's known for. He's good going forward. Barco did well. Stanley Wilson did well. Evan Ndicka, like I said, was decent. And Verbruggen didn't do too well overall, but he's been a solid keeper for us for several years now, so he would continue to be our goalkeeper. Highest rated player now is Garnacho. Kudus was up to an 89 overall, but then dropped due to injury, so Garnacho, 89 overall now. A lot of these players would be moving on to big clubs after this season. I would imagine Garnacho might want to move to a Barcelona, Real Madrid, a team like that, maybe even a Manchester City. We wouldn't want him to, but I can imagine him going there. As far as financially, he is also our highest valued player. Moretti's still up over 100 million, which is surprising. João Felix down to 81.5 million valuation, when I think we paid over 100 million for him, so not good business there at all. But besides him, we've pretty much grown all of these players from what we bought them from, so I would imagine we would make profit on pretty much all of them. Leonardo da Costa, 32 million valuation as an 18-year-old is crazy. And Giles is getting up there as well. Yuma Ono, obviously, as well up there. So it's good to see that we've got some valuation for our young players. We're probably worth well over $1 billion as a club. Let's go ahead and take a look at that actually as in the finances. Looks like the club worth is currently 1.8 billion and the projection is over 2 billion. And I imagine when we started this career mode, it wasn't anywhere close to that. So that's awesome to see that we've grown this club so much over the years. And our final tally in this career mode is 292 games played, 168 wins, 53 draws, 71 losses, almost 550 goals scored, and 370 allowed, which the 370 allowed isn't great, to be honest, but not terrible. That is going to be that as far as the team itself, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the Champions League, see who won that. It looks like it was Manchester City 2-0 over Milan, who, of course, knocked us out of the tournament. They got there by beating Dortmund, and City beat Inter Milan. And it looks like this was how the quarterfinals shaped up as well. And we'll go ahead and check out the Europa League as well. Looks like Atletico Madrid beat Hoffenheim in the final. Leeds United was also in the semifinals of the Europa League as well. That is crazy because they finished bottom half of the table in the Premier League. So good season from them. And then the Conference League, Braga ended up beating Chelsea. That is surprising as well. So we'll go ahead and take a look now at some of the other leagues, see how they ended up. I know that this is always kind of just automated, and I'm not sure if it ever actually is real. But it looks like Luton Town and Bournemouth will be coming back up to the Premier League, as well as either Everton, Leicester City, Middlesbrough, and Blackburn Rovers, who will be fighting out in the playoffs of that competition. In Ligue 1, of course, it was PSG over Lens, Lorient, Stade Rennais, and Monaco. Marseille down there pretty far, as well as Lyon down there, almost getting relegated. In the Bundesliga, let's see who it is. Of course, FC Bayern, and then Leverkusen behind them, Dortmund behind them, and Leipzig behind them as well. And then we'll move on to the Italian League. Inter Milan win by just a point over Milan and Roma. Juventus and Napoli as well in there. Only 3 points separated first and fifth place, so an insane season there in the Serie A. In the Eredivisie, PSV first place, Ajax down in fourth. Kind of surprising to see there. Over there in Portugal, it was Porto, Sporting, and Benfica. No surprise there at all. Over in Scotland, it was Celtic and Rangers in first and second. Again, no shocker there. And then in La Liga, it was Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico, and Real Sociedad in the top 4. So again, nothing too surprising. I did see in the comments that some of you guys want me to start an FC Barcelona career mode, which would be very, very fun, and I am definitely intrigued by it. So if you guys want that, please be sure to let me know. If we do start a whole new career mode, I think Barcelona would be a very fun one, and any other big club would also be fun. I think, I've always said an Italian club would be fun just because that league is very competitive. So AC Milan, Napoli, a club like that would be pretty cool, even Roma. And those career modes could be fun because they would be, maybe a little bit more fast-paced. We'd be in the Champions League right off the bat, and so that would always be fun. And then another idea I've always had is starting with a lower level side, maybe like a championship team, or maybe even League One, something like that. Or even starting a youth academy, youth to glory kind of career mode. So if that's something you guys would be interested in, let me know. Obviously, those would take a lot longer of time, and this one already took 4 months for me to do, so I can understand why you guys might want me to stick with a bigger club for now and then maybe move on to a Youth to Glory or a Road to Glory later on. So like I've always said, please be sure to leave your comments down below about that one. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of other creators in the YouTube space doing, creative clubs and things like that. So I can understand that market's kind of saturated right now. So we could stick with a big club for sure right now, and maybe that would be interesting. As far as the jobs within this career mode, I've saw that some of you guys might want me to take another job within the Premier League and move to a bigger club. Looks like right now we could go to Arsenal, but they wouldn't have any European football. We could go to Man City. Obviously they finished first, they won the Champions League, so that one would be the goal there, is to finish, continue the legacy of Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. We could also go to Manchester United, who are going to have an insane club as well. And then we could move to Newcastle, who would have some European football as well, just not Champions League. The team we have here is Bayern and Leverkusen, which could be very fun. And those are the teams that are here as of right now. Of course, if we simulate a week, we'll probably have Italian teams. If we simulate another week, we'll have Spanish teams. So just be sure to let me know who you want me to go to. And if we can make it work, we will definitely try to make it work. So yeah, that is going to be that for the Brighton Career Mode. Of course, unless you guys want me to continue it, give me your feedback. I love to see the comments on the videos. Please be sure to let me know where you want me to go. If we do end up just starting a whole new career mode, there might be one more episode of the Brighton Career Mode where we might just try to simulate through a few seasons and see just how it goes. Maybe do like a 10-year rebuild just till the end of the career mode, if we keep our job, of course. As of right now, our manager rating isn't looking great, so we might not be able to stay with the club. But we could obviously send to the end of the season and just see how it goes. So that is going to be that for the Brighton Career Mode. Thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like the video. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will catch you guys next time in the next episode, wherever it may be. Peace.